at 7 o'clock, right on the dot. And good to see everyone present tonight for our fourth Wednesday night of this month of August. We're talking at our elders meeting this evening how incredibly fast this year has gone, and this month is almost gone. So our fourth Wednesday night is devoted to our young guys leading a song. And we'll start with you. I think we started on this other side last time, and we'll start with you and get your section and go from there. Come on up here and let's get started.
Number 496. 496. 496. We have an anchor.
Thank you. Well, a good start there. Brody, you're up next.
589. 589. 589. As the deer.
Key of D, please. Todo me. I like that song. Andy, you're a sight for sore eyes. We are glad to see you and Lisa tonight. I have missed you. I hope you're feeling better. Good to have you tonight. Joe, is there anybody else on your section tonight? Any of the young guys? Okay. By the way, Silas, if you don't mind me asking, what are you leading tonight? Say it again? You don't know? You know what? I need somebody to plan on leading High Above the Seraphim. I've got a... You're going to lead that one? Okay, good. Never mind. You'll have to pick another one. Isaac, I'm not surprised. I can count on you. That's good. That's good. You know what else I'd like someone to lead tonight? Sanctuary. How about that one? Okay, let's see then. Keegan? No. Samuel, you're next. Come ahead, Samuel.
Number 573. 573. 573. Can you count the stars?
Okay.
Can you count the stars of evening that are shining?
Samuel. I'll tell you, each of the songs these guys have led are just very special songs to me. That's a good one. I think of the Father's care for little children, and just a tender song there. Good job there, Samuel. Keegan, you are next now.
13 in the big book.
Okay. 13 in the big book. Now, one of our standing rules is if a song just has 2 lines across, you get to do 2 verses, right? So since you're the leader, you get to tell us which 2 verses you would like for us to sing with you. First and third. Good choice. Okay, do you have your pitch back? Can you give us a B flat, please? No. We got to go. Excuse me. Hold everything. Do, do, so, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Keegan. I love that song too. I think we probably sung that a Brazilian times, and I never get tired of it. Titus, I think you're next. Okay, 208. Sing to me of heaven, right? 208, and we're going to go from your key of G down to the sol, which is your first note. Do, let's go down. Do, do, sol. Ready? Sing to me of heaven. Reese?
Number 11. In the supplement.
Okay. Number 11 in the supplement. And we need a pitch, don't we? Oh, you've got it. You've got that. A flat. How about that? A flat. Do, do, sol. You ready? Eli?
2:30.
Pitch. Okay, Jonathan, give us that key of G, please. Oh. World is not my home, my place of passing through. My treasures are laid up somewhere beyond the blue. The angels beckon me from heaven's open door, and I can feel at home in this world anymore. Oh Lord, you know I have a friend like you. If heaven's not my home, then Lord, what will I do? The angels beckon me from heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. Eli? Brooks? Number 19 in the supplement, sanctuary. Now I'll be humming this all the rest of this next week. You need a pitch, don't you? Let's. You want to call for your pitch? Good. E flat. Oh, to me, oh Lord, prepare me a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, we your children, stop with mighty, starry night, all that one must get together, one be forever, sanctuary for you. Thank you. One reason I've been thinking about that song is, in working up my lesson for Sunday, 1 Corinthians chapter 3, Paul addresses the church at Corinth that you are a temple of God. And he says the same, that of the church in chapter 3 and that of the individual in 1 Corinthians 6. I've been looking at that in related passages that, and another thing, I was looking at the Holman Christian Standard Bible, and where other translations say you are the temple, it uses the word sanctuary, which is a good translation because the Greek word is the word naos, which is for sanctuary, not hieron, which means the whole temple complex. See, the two different words. And that word that's used for the sanctuary is what we are to be as a dwelling place for the living God. Isn't that wonderful? So, anyway, that song is appropriate. Let's see. James, you next. Okay, in the supplement, number 15, which is exalted. Key of G there. You got it, James? Go ahead. No, ready? No. There's that readiness to sing right on, but I wanted to make sure we were stopping at the right place, but I think we did. Noah, come ahead. Say it again. Number 4. Okay. The battle belongs to the Lord. This is number 4 in the supplement. And you need a pitch, don't you? Okay. Let's go with the key of G, please. Do, do, sol, mi. Ready? In heavenly armor we'll enter the land. The battle belongs to the Lord. No weapon that's fashioned against us will stand. The battle belongs to the Lord. And we sing glory, honor, power, and strength to the Lord. We sing glory, honor, power, and strength to the Lord. Thank you. Noah, good job there. James, is that everybody on your side? Okay. Clay?
Number 7 in the supplement. Number 7, Hosanna. Number 7.
Amen. Good song. Will, what does the word Hosanna mean? Good. Grant.
100 in the supplement.
That's a good one. 100 in the supplement, Lamb of God. Do you need a pitch? Key of D, please. I couldn't hear it. Oh, ready? Your only Son, the saints divine, but you have sent him from your side, to walk upon this guilty sod, and to become the Lamb of God. Oh, Lamb of God, sweet Lamb of God, I love the holy Lamb of God. Oh, wash me in this precious blood, my Jesus Christ, the Lamb of God. Thank you, Grant. I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but his beating of the time in 3/4 time was exactly right. Good job there. All right, Wyatt, I think you're next. Come on down.
Number 73. 73.
And that's in the supplement, isn't it?
73.
All right. Okay. Hey, Isaac, could I make a deal with you? What verse are you going to do? The first verse? Okay. Excellent. You took the words right out of my mouth. Great minds. All right? Give us that We need a key of E, don't we? You've already read it with. Oh, do, mi, sol, red. Mark, is that everyone on your side here? Mark and Mark. Parker, your turn.
594, the Lily of the Valley, 594.
Another one of my favorites, what can I say? Follow me. Isaac.
73. High above the seraphim.
Number 73 in the supplement.
You didn't tell him what verse.
Verse 30.
You have to hold up 3 fingers. Okay. Now we're ready. Oh, do, mi, sol. Tonight I come to heaven. Okay.
$285, Science Calls.
285, and that's in the big book. Zion's Call is Blake's selection. And I told Hunter that we're very glad to have him with us tonight, too, by the way. Okay, so you need a pitch? Go, ready? 4/4 time there. Zion's Call, sweet. Hayden?
578. 578. The old rugged cross. 578.
Okay. 578 in the big book. The old rugged cross. Key of B flat. Do, do, sol, mi. Ready? That is extremely hard to use 6/8 time with a song that we sing at that tempo, but that's what it calls for. Let me see here. Cole, are you next? Okay. All right. 683, sing and be happy. Devin, does he have a smile on his face just all the time? He does? Does he get that from you? Well. What is our key here? What is our key here? Oh, yeah, we need an E flat. Oh, you ready? Do, mi. Ready? Let's sing. If the skies above you Mason? Ooh, 37 in the big book. I like that one too. 37, key of G, right? Do, do, so. You ready? We praise thee, O God, for the Son of thy love, for Jesus. Who died and is now alive. Thank you, Mason. Davis? Right there. 141 in the supplement. 141. We will glorify the King of Kings. Now, Davis, you get to do 2 verses since it's just 2 lines across. What do you want to do? First and what? First and second. I got you. Okay. First and second verses on 141. We need an E flat there, please. Oh, don't be ready. Let's sing. We will glorify the King of Kings. We will glorify the Lamb. We will glorify the Lord of Lords, who is the great I am. Lord Jehovah reigns in majesty. We will bow before His throne. We will worship Him in righteousness. We worship Him alone. Thank you there, Davis. I like that song too. Adam?
Number 38. 3A. King must come. Number 38. Get that, please.
When guys like Adam come up here, I just stand to the side because they don't need me, and I was talking over your note. Please do it again.
From the earth.
Thank you, Adam. It is a joy to watch our young folks grow up and just see them grow and develop in such a fine way. To God be the glory. Let's see, Jude, are you next? Rocky, I'm not looking over anyone at this point, am I? Okay.
Page 24. Page 24. Right around 1 o'clock.
224, there's a rainbow in the cloud. You want to call for your key? Lord, oh me. Thank you, Jude. Jasper?
138 in the supplement.
Okay, that's a good selection. 138 in the supplement, The Army of the Lord. You want to call for your pitch? Thank you, Jasper. You know, there's nothing fancy about the lyrics, the music part, the tune of this, but if you read the words, just line by line, this is a powerful song. It really is. So thank you for selecting that, Jasper. Silas, you're next.
Number 2 in the supplement. Number 2, Higher Ground.
Yes.
Number 2 in the supplement.
Wait a minute. Are you the last one? You are the last one. Thomas, first and last. Is that okay? First and last.
I'm pressing on.
Thank you, Silas. Thomas, be making your way up. I continue to say, for every good thing we've received, it comes from God. To him be the glory. But I have opportunities to travel and preach in other places and visit with other congregations. And we really have a good situation here at Hanceville that I don't see in a lot of other places. And to have this many young men in a single service take part in leading a song and do such a good job with it, it's so encouraging to me. So I appreciate it. Let me give you the mic here. Who has the invitation tonight? Who? Adam, you do. Okay. So do you need this? Okay.
By the way, the invitation song will be number 326, Trust and Obey. Brother Billy Reese will lead us in that. 326. Let's turn to number 25 in the supplement book. Number 25. I close my eyes. I've led this song a few times, but the way I learned this was wrong. And so I want to both correct myself and just kind of lay the groundwork that this is how it's supposed to be led. The only thing that I really did wrong was when it says, "My prayer, Jehovah, hear to my entreating cry," I wouldn't hold the words "my" and "to" for long enough, and it goes that way throughout the song. It's supposed to be held for one full, or whatever that note is. So anyway, we'll sing both verses of this song and try to do it correctly this time, for me. Do, do, so. My prayer, Jehovah, hear to my entreating cry. In faithfulness give ear, in righteousness reply. No God have I but Thee. Teach me to do Thy will. Thy Spirit's good lead me. On even pathways still. I close my eyes. I see His majesty. I close my eyes and feel His love for me. Because I trust in Thee, oh, cause Thou me to hear Thy loving kindness free. When morning doth appear, make me to know Thy way, wherein Thy path should be. Because my soul each day do I lift up to Thee. I close my eyes. I see His majesty. I close my eyes and feel His love for me. Perfect, good job. I think that's all the time I've got right now. Adam, right over to you.
In the movie The Hobbit, Bilbo, the main character, has been recruited to go on an adventure and reclaim the mountain Erebor from the dragon Smaug. On their way to the mountain, they are captured by the goblins. Bilbo escapes, only to be lost in the caves. As he wanders aimlessly through the caves, he discovers a ring lying on the ground. Eventually, the cave opens up into a big underground lake. He believes he will be trapped forever when he meets Gollum, a human-like creature who has lived in the caves for many years. Gollum agrees to help Bilbo find a way out if Bilbo can win a game of riddles. Bilbo wins, but Gollum discovers that his ring is missing. He suspects Bilbo and goes into a rage. While running through the caves, Bilbo discovers that the ring turns him invisible. He finds the exit only to see it's guarded by Gollum. He has a chance to end the defenseless Gollum once and for all, but having mercy, Bilbo pushes past Gollum invisibly, sparing him. Unfortunately, today, many people confuse mercy for weakness or cowardice. Webster's dictionary defines mercy as compassion shown especially to an offender or to one subject to one's power. The Bible shows mercy as not something of weakness or cowardice, but strength and bravery. The perfect example of mercy is Jesus. There are multiple instances, but tonight I will only mention a few. Please turn to Matthew 14, verses 13 through 21. Matthew 14, 13 through 21. I think I wrote down the wrong verse. Chapter what?
14, verse 14, or
The feeding of the 5,000.
that's Matthew 14, starting in verse 15.
I'm in Mark. That's what I did. I think that's the second time in a row I've done something like that. Beginning in verse 13. When Jesus heard it, he departed from there by boat to a deserted place by himself. But when the multitudes heard it, they followed him on foot from the cities. And when Jesus went out, he saw a great multitude, and he was moved with compassion for them, and healed their sick. When it was evening, his disciples came to him, saying, "This is a deserted place, and the hour is already late. Send the multitudes away, and that they may go into the villages and buy themselves food." But Jesus said to them, "They do not need to go away. You give them something to eat." And they said to him, "We have here only 5 loaves and 2 fish." He said, "Bring them here to me." Then he commanded the multitudes to sit down on the grass, and he took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he blessed and broke and gave the loaves to the disciples, and the disciples gave to the multitudes. So they all ate and were filled, and they took up 12 baskets full of the fragments that remained. Now those who had eaten were about 5,000 men, besides women and children. In this instance, we see Jesus show mercy in 2 ways. He heals their sick, and he gives them a meal. He didn't have to do either of these things. He could have hidden and snuck away. During this time, Jesus was attempting to teach his disciples by himself without the attention of the crowds to prepare them for his death on the cross. Secondly, probably the most famous instance of mercy is a parable told by Jesus. Please turn to Luke 10, verses 25 through 37. Luke 10, verses 25 through 37. And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tested him, saying, "Teacher, what shall I do to inherit eternal life?" He said to him, "What is written in the law? What is your reading of it?" So he answered and said, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself." And he said to him, "You have answered rightly. Do this, and you will live." But he, wanting to justify himself, said to Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" Then Jesus answered and said, "A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, who stripped him of his clothing, wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. Now by chance a certain priest came down that road, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. Likewise, a Levite, when he arrived at the place, came and looked, and passed by on the other side. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion. So he went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine, and he set him on his own animal, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. On the next day, when he departed, he took out 2 denarii, gave them to the innkeeper, and said to him, "Take care of him, and whatever more you spend, when I come again, I will repay you." So which of these three do you think was a neighbor to him who fell among the thieves? And he said, "He who showed mercy on him." Then Jesus said to him, "Go and do likewise." This is the parable of the Good Samaritan. In this, we see an unlikely person help out someone in need. The priest passed by, the Levite passed by. The person who helped was a Samaritan. He had no idea if his kindness would be appreciated. All he cared about was the person in need was if the person in need got the help they needed. Matthew 26:37 through 51. Matthew 26:37 through 51. And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, and he began to be sorrowful and deeply distressed. Then he said to them, "My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even to death. Stay here and watch with me." He went a little farther and fell on his face and prayed, saying, "O my Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will." Then he came to the disciples and found them sleeping, and said to Peter, "What? Could you not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray, lest you enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." Again, a second time, he went away and prayed, saying, "O my Father, if this cup cannot pass away from me unless I drink it, your will be done." And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. So he left them, went away again, and prayed the third time, saying the same words. Then he came to his disciples and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and resting? Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is being betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. See, my betrayer is at hand." And while he was still speaking, behold, Judas, one of the 12, with a great multitude with swords and clubs, came from the chief priests and elders of the people. Now his betrayer had given them a sign, saying, "Whomever I kiss, he is the one. Seize him." Immediately he went up to Jesus and said, "Greetings, Rabbi," and kissed him. But Jesus said to him, "Friend, why have you come?" Then they came and laid hands on Jesus and took him. And suddenly one of those who were with Jesus stretched out his hand and drew his sword, struck the servant of the high priest, and cut off his ear. But Jesus said to him, "Put your sword in its place, for all who take the sword will perish by the sword. Or do you think that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he will provide me with more than 12 legions of angels? How then could the scriptures be fulfilled that it must happen thus?" In that hour Jesus said to the multitudes, "Have you come out as against a robber with swords and clubs with me? I sat daily with you, teaching in the temple, and you did not seize me. But all this was done that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled." Then all of his disciples forsook him and fled. In verse 51, and suddenly one of those who were with Jesus struck out his hand and drew his sword, struck his servant of the high priest, and cut off his ear. In other accounts, we see where Jesus, the servant being Malchus, heals his ear after it has been cut off. This is a man who is aiding in the capture of Jesus. Excuse me. This capture will eventually lead to an excruciating death on the cross. Jesus is aware of this. That is why he is in the garden praying and begging that this cup pass from him. Finally, the greatest example of all, John 3:16. "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life." God sent his Son to die for us. Imagine sending someone you cared about more than anything to die for someone who doesn't deserve it. It would be the hardest thing you'd ever have to do if you could even go through with it. Tonight, if you're not a Christian, Jesus died for you. God and Jesus have shown mercy to you. If you would accept this mercy tonight, please come forward as we stand and sing.